For a lay person, there are 10 actions that we should avoid. Whether you are a religious person, a non-religious person, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Jew, whether you're a Muslim, a Buddhist, Hindu, Jain, etc., whatever religious denomination you are, these are the 10 basic things that we should avoid as humans with consideration and respect for others. And also they have their, karmic effects. In order for them to have karmic effects, there must be a couple of motivations involved, mind thoughts involved. So in order to have karmic effects, number one must have the intent of doing any of these 10 actions. Number two, one must know that one is doing the action. Not just do it, but knowingly do it. One must know one's doing the actions, actually carry out the actions. After the action is carried out, the effect has taken place, and then the last is to be very happy and to rejoice that you have done it. Oh, I have done this action. So to have the intent to do it, the action gets complete, and then rejoicing, being happy to have done it. So I have the intention of breaking his cup. I actually push it. Maybe it rolls off and doesn't get broken. The karma is still there, but not as strong as if the cup was broken. Or I want to break that cup, I knock it over, and then it breaks. But then just before it breaks, I look over and I see him very sad and very, very depressed. I feel remorse and regret. Again, the action becomes less. Then another situation is actually I want to break the cup. I push it, break it. It gets broken. The other person is depressed, and I'm extremely happy. And I'm rejoicing. And I'm in fact plotting of another way to make him even unhappier. The action is complete. The karma becomes very, very strong. Very, very strong. Very, very powerful. And that result will come back. The 4 causes must be there for the action to be complete. So in order that these 4 are there, the 3 non-virtuous actions of the body is killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. The 4 non-virtuous acts of the speech is lying, divisive talk, abuse, idle gossip. When I said the last one, I saw some people looking at their wives. I was one. And 1 or 2 women looked at their husbands. So never equal. Then the last one, the 3 non-virtuous acts of the mind is craving or desire, ill will, and wrong view. So, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, divisive speech, abuse, idle gossip, craving, ill will, wrong views. These are the 10 actions that we should definitely avoid. Definitely. Now, I'll go over each one of them for the benefit of everyone. And you may think, oh, this monk, all he has to do is teach this. Well, let me tell you, this is basic for everyone. Without this, you can forget the higher practices in any religion. You can forget any higher practices in Buddhism. Forget any higher practices of reciting mantras, meditations, initiation, going to holy places, and doing pujas, and on. Without these 10 basics, as an ordinary human being, you do not have the luxury of being classified as a human being. If you do not hold on to these 10 basic ethics, it's very, very important as human beings. That's what differentiates us from animals. So, number 1, killing. I told you again, the intent must be there. The intent must be there. So, killing one's parents, killing a holy being, killing a Buddha, which is not possible, but the intent can be there, or an arhat, is very powerful karma. It will result immediately in sufferings and unhappiness in one's life. Killing another human being is also very, very powerful. And then the extent goes down when we kill animals. The result will be very, very bad for us also. Why? Because it creates unhappiness. It creates separation. It creates pain for another being. Whether that being is intelligent or not, every single being has the right to live and exist in peace, in happiness. And when we take that away from them, we create pain. We create anxiety. We can even see pigs that are taken to slaughterers crying and squealing and wailing. I've seen it. They know. They definitely know. So to create that kind of pain and to absorb that kind of pain into our bodies, what kind of people do we become? not nicer people from killing, definitely not. After a while, killing the pig, after a while seeing the blood gush out, the first time we're kind of squeamy. Second, third, fourth time, we get used to it. We've already sunk it down to a lower level. So, killing of any type is very, very negative karma. Very, very negative karma. And the effect of killing, the effect will be being born in one of the three lower states of existence. As I talked about the previous state, either hell, spirit realm, or animal realm. The second one is, if you take rebirth as a human, you will have a tendency and liking to killing, you will have a short life, and you will have a lot of illnesses. And even if you have a lot of illnesses, if you take certain medicines or you take certain medications, you go to certain hospitals, you will not be healed. It will not be healed. So, people say, how come I practice Dharma? And then, I cannot get this, I cannot do this, I cannot achieve that. Well then, everybody in the hospital gets well, no one in the hospital dies. It's according to the person's karma, how fast, how quick, and how precise you get your results. By the power of killing and its negative results, one will always have a short life, an unhappy life, a life that is filled and fraught with illness, and even when you get ill, medicines have no effects, always in pain, and a short life. Some kids, when they're born, they like to step on a lot of bugs naturally. Some kids are very gentle. It's an instinct from their previous lives that's carried over in their minds. The third is that if you have a human life, even good foods that are given to you will not become nourishing. Even vitamins that are given to you will not be nourishing. In fact, everything related to the body will be very weak. Whatever you do, the body will never respond to medicines, treatment, nourishment, anything. That are some of the results of killing. Some. Not all the results. Some. Then, you have stealing. Stealing can be done outright, taking someone's object with them knowing or not knowing at first. Stealing can be swindling with words, with writing, using false weights to sell a product, or advertising a product to be a certain thing or from a certain country. And when you have sold off your product on a wrong basis and the other person believes you and bought it, and you feel happy, I've gotten the results, and you go off to the Bahamas and have a vacation, the action is completed. The action is completed. So stealing can be in the form of robbing. It can be in the form of swindling with words or writing, using false weights. Or even, as I said the first day, if someone left some money in your care, they forgot about it, and you don't remind them and keep it, that's stealing. The result of stealing will be one of the three lower realms. For sure. After the three lower realms, when you come out, you'll be born as a human, and you will never be able to escape poverty. Or if you're born into a very rich family, you can never get any of the money or any of the inheritance. Or whatever you do, whatever job that you do, whatever effort you put into, nothing ever comes out about it, and you call it, or you label it bad luck. Some people do very little, get big results. Some people do very much, do not get any results. Or this kind of bad karma can result in destruction. For example, it's using ancient example of destruction of crops. Whereas there's a bad weather condition, the people, the farmers to your left and right, their crops are okay, your crops go bad. Why? You're in the same area. Stealing will have definite results which will result in poverty. Any type of poverty. Temporary, future. Some people are very rich businessmen, they fall down. Some people, whatever business they do, doesn't gain result. Some people, when they do business, they gain some results, lots of money, but they lose it, or it's stolen from them. That is the result of stealing from others. Then sexual misconduct, again, is having intercourse with someone that is not your partner. So, of course, if you're a man, not with your wife, with another lady, and vice versa. And if you do it in unnatural ways, and if you do it near your religious teachers, near religious institutions, near your altar, on religious holidays, Buddha says sexual desire is strong in all humans. It is very important to make a strong effort to restrain oneself from adultery. Very, very strong. If you commit any of those actions as a lay person, then the result of that will be three lower realms. Also, when you take rebirth again, you will always have disharmony in your family. You will have disharmony with your mates. You have disharmony between husband and wife. You will always have disharmony, arguments, fighting back and forth, not liking each other, and running off again and again. Also, you will have the effect of living in dirty places, unendurable places, and places that are very, very unpleasant, that are unbearable, but you have no choice to stay. That will be some of the results you get from adultery. Some of the results. So, realizing that for a short time, we may get some pleasure out of actions that we do that are negative. For a short time, we may get some temporary pleasures. But these actions will actually, in the end, bring about a negative result, an unhappy result. Meditating on that, thinking about that, contemplating on that again and again and again, a logical, straightforward mind will be able to detach itself away from these actions slowly with time. And one should detach oneself from these type of actions. One should have remorse. One should have regret. One should promise not to do it again. One should have communion with one's deity, Jesus or Buddha, whatnot. One should have communion and not do these again, and promise and to restrict oneself, because it will bring very bad effects, very bad results. And if you don't believe in a future life, it's alright. But in this life, you can see the disharmony that already brings into your lives. Already, so it's very logical. Now, the next one is the 4 actions of the speech. Lying, divisive speech, and abuse. Lying, of course, is speaking falsely, withholding the truth. It can be done by words, gesture, a nod, or even a wink. Even a wink. The result of lying will be rebirth in one of the lower realms. In the future, whatever you say, no one will take you seriously. No one will listen to you. No one will no one will ever believe you. All the time, whatever you say, you have to make a lot of noise. You have to always scream. You have to jump up and down to get anyone's attention. Because no one, even when you do that, you push people away further and people don't listen to you as a result of lying. And whatever one tries to endeavor in, you'll be deceived, cheated, tricked by others. And your endeavors will become unsuccessful. Completely unsuccessful. I'm just going over this very fast. Divisive speech, and it is any type of speech with the intention to divide. To divide 2 friends, 2 parties, 2 organizations, etc., etc., etc. Then the next one would be abuse or slander. That will lead you to low rebirth. In the future life, and in this life, you will always have a bad reputation, unable to get along with others, and everybody will instinctively speak about you behind your back, even if you didn't do anything, even if you're totally innocent. People will speak against you. And again, one will be born in a dirty, unpleasant, and dangerous environment where there's wild animals, poisons, natural disasters, very dangerous environment. And last of the speech is idle gossip. Any type of speech about useless things that does not benefit oneself, that doesn't benefit others. Just talking and talking on and on and on and on and idly gossiping on and on and on will create a kind of karma that in your next human life, one's words will not influence others in any way, not even your kids. Even when you try to teach your kids the good things, you have good intention, even your children won't listen to you, followed by anybody else that you meet. And one will uselessly talk whenever an opportunity arises. Just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. If there's another example here, if you have a garden or field, one will not reap harvests from it. One will not reap harvests. Then if craving, ill will, and wrong view. That would be ill will, hatred, having hatred against someone, therefore acting upon it. One will gain rebirth in one of the 3 lower realms. If one gains rebirth as a human, one will have perpetual fear. One's fear will always be groundless, uncontrollable, and always having the harm, always getting harm, and always getting destruction and disharmony without even asking, without even creating in that life. One will always have that situation. And one will have to endure continuous sickness and unhappiness and live in places of war and heavy violence as a result of hatred and malice. Then the next one would be craving or desire. The wish that when someone else has something good, when someone else has something positive, one cannot rejoice, one cannot be happy. One wants to destroy, one wants to take their possessions, one wants to do something to harm or to bring that person down, or bring their business, etc. down. The result of that will be, in your future lives, no matter what situation you're in, whether it is in a very wealthy or very poor situation, you will always have continual unsatisfaction. Always will be unsatisfied. Always will be unhappy. You can have the most beautiful mate. You can have the most wonderful house and the highest name, highest case. Still you'll be unhappy. Always looking for a way out. Perhaps looking for wrong types of escapism, such as suicide. Then the environment that one lives in will be fraught or always having poverty, bearing constant misfortune. Then the last one would be wrong views. Wrong views such as thinking doing negative things will have positive results, or positive things will have negative results, and perpetuating that. Or any type of wrong views on those lines will be rebirth that whatever studies you do in the future, whatever you try to advance in scholastics will not be successful. If you do any type of meditational practices, it will not be successful. Although you may do it in very, very ascetic ways, you put all your effort and energy into it, still you will not get any results. Your mind will be very dull, very slow, very stupid. If one would go to a spring, the water would literally stop flowing. If you go to a mine, you never find treasures. As a result of having wrong views and perpetuating wrong views, always. These are the 10 things as ordinary human beings you should avoid, and their karmic effects. And these karmic effects follow your mind from one life to the next life, to the next life, to the next life, to the next life, until the situation occurs that it fruitions, and either you get the suffering or the happiness as a result. So very, very important to avoid those 10. Very, very important.